everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we are doing our first snapshot review and we'll be going over all of the changes in 21W20A. So let's hop straight into it. So the first of many changes is one that they talked of last week but didn't actually implement, and that is the rarity of geodes. Now last week they wasn't rarer, but this week they are actually rarer now. As you can see, we've got one here, we've got one there, and there's not many others, so that change is now implemented into the game. Another change with the geodes is that they no longer destroy the stronghold, as there was an issue where they would destroy the stronghold and have a chance of destroying the end portal. Another change with the geodes is that they also do not destroy dungeons, as they could also destroy dungeon spawners. So that will no longer be an issue. And the final change with geodes is that they will no longer break through bedrock, escaping the world. And that is another change to geodes. Now another change that is not specifically the geode, but the amethyst. And that is that amethyst can now let redstone pass through them. As you can see, before this was no longer possible. Now a bit of a different change, and this changes with the narrator. The narrator now will include the position of where you are. It's a little bit.
Narrator narrates all button.
It's a little
Options.
bit different to how it was.
Accessibility settings button. Chat settings button. Screen element 9 out of 12. Game menu. Options. Narrator off.
So as you can see, it tells you if it's a button, where you are, and it just guides you a little bit more if you require narrator. So another change is to do with the rooted dirt, and using a hoe, tilling the rooted dirt will change it to dirt, and also give you some rooted hanging roots. But as you can see, these hanging roots are huge. Like, compare that to a normal item. There's a bit of a size difference there. Another change, not sure if this is intentional or not, but when hoeing the rooted dirt, the hanging roots actually stay attached. Now this would make sense, as they can be put on nearly any block, I assume. So that's that change. So the axolotls, there's been a few changes to these, in that they will only play dead in water now. And they will only play dead if they're in water, and if it's a actual sea monster that is the threat. So it won't be if they suffocate or anything like that. And they don't. Here we are. As you can see, they got attacked by the drowned, and now they're playing dead. But if there's any other things, then it wouldn't work, and they would not play dead. Now another change to the axolotl is that when you bucket the axolotl in creative, it doesn't actually replace the water bucket, but it gives it a new slot, as you can see, rather than just replacing your water bucket and having to get another one. So a bit of a different change, a change with the llamas. If you are in peaceful mode, the llamas will actually no longer spit at you when you attack them. So you can attack them infinite amounts of time and not have to worry about dying to them. So that's quite a nice change. So a bit of a technical change is a new MBT tag, which has visual fire. So this is a tag for entities that can make them appear on fire. Now I don't currently have this, but if I find it out, it'll be in the description of the video for you guys. So a bit of a different change is a change to lava pools and water pools. They will now no longer have floating grass or floating snow on the top of them, which isn't really a bit of a change, but it's quite nice of them to add, because that's been in the game for quite a little while now. So a change to the glow lichens and vines. If you have multiple of these in one block, you will now gain the correct amount of ones you have placed. But currently this is only working for lichens, and hopefully soon that will apply to vines. So, a change to being on fire and powder snow cauldrons. So, as you know, you can put powder snow inside of a cauldron. And if you are somehow set on fire, you can now use a powder snow cauldron to put yourself out or to turn it to water. So that is a nice way to get water from powdered snow. So now when you have an animal and you have powdered snow, the animal, once the freezing effect has applied, should now take damage, rather than just the player. Essentially it starts to shiver, and if you look at its health down there at the bottom of the screen, just here, as you can see, it is taking freeze damage. Now let's take this horse out before I have to live with its death. So I changed to the 1.18 data pack, which will be somewhere inside of the patch notes, which will be a link to in the description. You can now put out candles on a cake with a splash water bottle, just like you can with candles. In case you didn't notice, I don't have. So as you can see right now, I have a particle effect on me. And a bug that has been fixed is that through the spyglass, you will no longer see these particles going through the visible area, which is quite nice because it's already not mega easy to see. Much better with Optifine, which I also don't have on right now, so I guess it is kind of good. So back to the powder snow. Another change is that you can now get strays spawning inside of it. Because before you could have passive mobs such as the polar bear spawning in it. Now, we're just going to shiver. There is also another change to the axolotls which has been fixed, and that is now axolotls will no longer get stuck on waterlogged stairs, slabs and stuff like that. So a change to the cave vines and bees is that bees can now pollinate cave vines, which is quite nice, but these ones do not seem to want to. Yeah. Maybe this is not implemented yet because they don't seem to pollinate for me. But according to Mojang, this should now be a feature in the 1.17 cave update. And that should be all of the major changes and bug fixes in this snapshot. There is a lot more to see, and they will all be in the link at the very top of the description if you want to go read up on those. But that will be all for me today. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.